Hey guys, it's Lena from Too Typical, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the start to our neuropsych eval journey with Mia. So today I'm about to send off these babies. These are the packets that come when you request a neuropsych for your child, and they ask a bunch of questions. Our packet took probably about 2 to 3 hours to fill out. And then the teachers took quite a bit of time for her to fill out as well. The very first thing that I want to talk about is the difference that you're going to see in these. This is our packet. This is the teacher's packet. What is said in here is very different than what is said in here. This is super common with kids who are higher functioning. I vividly remember, as most of you know, I am higher functioning ADHD. And I didn't get diagnosed until Mia was diagnosed this fall. And it was only because her psychiatrist said, well, girls look different. And then we talked about all the ways that girls are different with ADHD than boys. I remember sitting in 3rd grade, and we were learning cursive. We were starting to learn how to write in cursive. And I also have something called dysgraphia. And at the time, it was labeled a nonverbal learning disability. And what I was told was that I was going to struggle with things that went from my brain to a pencil. And one of the things that they said to do was to write with a pen. But we weren't quite there yet in 3rd grade. And so we were learning to write cursive, and cursive is very, very difficult for me to have that fluidity and to connect your letters. To go from letter to letter is broken up, and my brain processes that a little bit easier. So I do better writing in like block print. I never in my life would consider having had thrown a fit or telling my teacher how much I was struggling. Why? Because I didn't want to be the troubled kid. I was so terrified of being the naughty kid. We had naughty kids in our class, and I saw how they got treated, and I saw the way that friends talked about them, and I was absolutely terrified to be the naughty kid. So I held it together to the best of my abilities at school. And then I got home. And this is where these differ. Because I was an angel here, and here I was the spawn of Satan. I remember throwing textbooks at my parents, screaming that I couldn't do it. Homework would take forever. Stuff I could do in school, because I had no choice but to do it in school, I very much struggled to do at home. And it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. It wasn't that I was just trying to be a brat, although, I mean, I am. Let's not get wrong on there. But I wasn't doing it purposely. I had spent all of my mental capabilities keeping it together at school and pushing through so that I looked okay at school, that by the time I got home and had to do my homework at home, I just couldn't hold it together anymore. It would be like sitting in a meeting with a bunch of high-end clients for hours on end and just trying to keep yourself together and then having to go home and do it all over again. Your brain just can't take that much. It just doesn't work. And so we're seeing the same things with Mia. Here, she's an angel. She gets along with her peers well. She's a great friend. She's great to adults. She transitions well. She's having no trouble keeping up with her peers, especially now that she's on meds. She's very outgoing, very bubbly. Here we are seeing her crying about having to do homework, especially writing. I'm seeing a lot of things that lead to me thinking that she has dysgraphia as well. She holds it together at school, and then we lose it here. And then we hear about the things that she doesn't like at school. We hear about how transitions are really hard, how she's afraid of transitions, how she is wanting more help than she's getting, but they don't see here that she needs that help. And so they can't give it to her, because if your child's not showing an educational need and isn't failing, she's not going to get the help. So we're struggling with finding a balance between these two. And how do we go from here to here and see the same success? And unfortunately, again, with a lot of kids who are higher functioning, this just doesn't balance out well. And granted, Mia's teacher is amazingly understanding, and the school is trying to be very understanding, but because they don't see it, they can't do anything about it. And I can't make them see it, because she is going to hold it together. And then she's going to let it go in her safe place. And so finding ways to help her get her homework done in her safe place and alternative means that are okay with the teacher is where we're at right now. So I want you to think about your kiddo, if you're watching this, because it sounds like them, that you're not spoiling them at home, that it's not that they like the teacher better. It is extremely common with high-functioning kids that they keep it together in structured school. And no matter how structured your home is, because my house is very structured, we have very regimented scheduling so that we can keep that structure throughout the day, even when they're not at school. You're their safe place, and you're where they're going to let it fly. And you're going to see their greatest struggles, and school isn't. And that's okay, but then it's okay then to fight for the testing. It's okay, like with Mia's neuropsych, this is, if you look at this, she's the perfect kid. There's nothing wrong. And if you look at this along with her psych evals, there's obviously something going on. And thankfully, the neuropsychologists who do these testings are amazing at knowing that this is where they shine, because kids do really well in school and they show it more at home. And thankfully, Mia has gotten really good. We are very proactive about letting her vocalize how she's feeling and what she thinks is going on. And I highly encourage you, if you've got a high-functioning kiddo, tell them it's okay to tell you. And it's okay to do better at school and not so well at home, but then you need to find other means. And as much as it is so difficult, because I struggle with it daily, you can't get frustrated, and you can't let yourself start to think, well, then I'm doing something wrong, because we all do that. We all get to that point, and it's not you. I promise you, it's not you. It's not that the school is better. They don't do better for your kiddo. Nobody does better than mom and dad or caregivers. Trust me. So yeah, that's where we're sitting right now. How do we balance the angel and the struggling kiddo? If you've got any tips, or maybe you were an adult that was the same way as me, held it together at school, struggled at home, couldn't do homework at home because you just gave all of your mental fortitude at school, let us know. Let other kiddos know they're not alone, and let other parents know that this is totally normal. So that's all for today, folks. We'll see you again on the next leg of our neuropsych journey. Bye.